Food markets only.
Meet Susie Smart, she is so bright. On her blackboard you can write. She has a desk, she has a seat. What's your name, my darling sweet?
My name is Susie Smart.
She can talk!
She can talk, but can she add?
2 plus 2 is 4. Cat, C-A-T.
You can spell!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
You recite!
Press the button, she says a dozen things, complete with desk, blackboard, and seat. Susie Smart, sold at food markets only.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
$200. Bring it here. Let me see it. How do I know that's not a bunch of ones with a 20 wrapped around it?
Good evening, cats and kittens, pups and poochers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sweepin the Dirt, the really lazy metal detecting chit and chat show. It's really lazy because it's really freaking cold. Not much detecting going on around here. Right now it's 32 degrees, and we all know what that is. It's sneezing, freezing. Good evening, Linda Wallace, new marshal in town. I are here. Just here. I've been sneezing the last couple hours. I don't know if I stirred up some dust and that kind of mess in the course of my cleaning things. But excuse me, I'm also very mentally tired. So since I haven't been able to be outside doing any detecting, what I do have is all those coins left over from the guess how much money's in the jar. Now, when I threw them all in the jar, it was under the assumption that it was all clad. But a lot of them were really dirty, and I know some people get all wound for sound about washing coins, but I had to wash these just to be able to cash them in. So I thought what we would do tonight is look at them, because some of them were so dark and tarnished I couldn't really even see a date on them. So let's see what we really found. You know, is there a hidden war nickel? Is there a hidden silver coin? What do we really have here? So I just got some, of course somebody tries to call me. And it's a local number, so I gotta check it. Hang on. I think it's just a drugstore, but yeah, it was just a drugstore telling me they have drugs for me. Isn't that special? So this is a 1991 P. You can tell it was in the ground for a while. It's pretty chewed. Pretty chewed up. We're just gonna see what we got. Chewed up nickel from 2007. Back doesn't look too sporty. Yeah, these are all detected coins. There's a 79 penny. I just want to see what some of them are, because they look pretty bad from being in the ground. 2021. I mean, I didn't like scrub them or anything. I just rinsed some of the basic dirt off. 1998. 2020. This one's crunchy. Isn't that pretty? Does that even qualify as a whole penny? That is what happens to Zinkins when they sit in the ground. That's pretty sad right there. Here's one that's questionable origin. Yeah, I mean, they don't. That's one of the things I notice sometimes is I'll be watching these channels and all the coins they're finding are coming out so clean. And I'm like, I don't find them looking like that. Hi, Lucky James. Yeah, that penny did look partially eaten. It was in bad shape. But that's what being in the ground does to them, especially the zincs. You know, you get them and they got big chunks like that out of the side, and you can't read the dates on them. And originally, you could take coins like that to the bank and send them back, trade them in for spendable money, but the banks won't take them anymore. So when you find something like that, it's just junk. I mean, you can't really do anything with it. You can't, the mint won't trade them in for you anymore because they know they made too much garbage. Like this quarter here, I can't even read I can barely find the date. I found the In God We Trust, so the date is supposed to be across from it, but there's nothing legible in there. But at least it's a whole coin, so I can roll it up and cash it back in. But this is so typical of coins that you dig, that when I see these guys on these YouTube channel and every coin they pull out is perfect. And I'm like, how can that be? How can that be? I'm not sure what that means. But if you do not stop with the spamming, you will get a gift tonight. I don't like to welcome people to my channel in that fashion, but I also don't really like people coming in, and there's a rule in my channel of things we don't discuss, and religion and politics are two of them. So just bear that in mind, and otherwise enjoy hanging out. James, that is a hard question to answer because it depends on what kind of detecting you want to do. Now, I will tell you, I have seen people spend way too much money on shovels. I have a shovel that I bought from like Lowe's or one of those kind of places. It's called a Root Assassin, and I have been using it for years, and it's way better than the shovel that I had before, and it costs less. I think it cost me about $35 or $40. Now, depending upon what kind of detecting you want to do, I bought the Nocta Simplex Plus package, and I bought the one with the wireless headphones, and it was, well, let me see if I can find a catalog here. I should have one. Coins. They may not have sent me a new one yet. Oh, there's a Calico catalog. Hang on, and I'll look a couple of things up for you. Now, for your basic detecting, like going to parks and that kind of stuff, and out into dirt, let me find the package that I bought. Now, it may be slightly higher or slightly lower, but this way I can tell you what was in the package. Oops. I'm dropping things. Just give me a sec here. Got a better idea. Okay, I'm going to pull something up on the screen here. Now, I bought the package that had the wireless headphones and the digging tool and the detector, and you can get the package without the headphones, and I wish I had, because I don't like headphones and I hardly ever use mine, but I knew I was going to have them, so. So here's a bunch of different. Yeah, well, I don't know who that was, and they came in and they started preaching, and I have a feeling they were about ready to start promoting some things we didn't want promoted. Because see, now they have the new simplexes that didn't exist when I got mine, but I wanted this particular. Now see, it's fully waterproof. That's one of the reasons I wanted this simplex. I didn't want just the coil being waterless. But like, here's your package here with the new generation simplex BT. It's got included, of course, your machine. It's got your fines pouch. It's got your hat. It's got your digging tool, your little harness for your pin pointer. This one does not have the headphones in it, but you can go to the next one up, which will have the headphones in it, and it'll cost you about $350. And for a waterproof machine, that's really good. Okay, that's where I already was. Now this one here is minus the headphones, but see, I got where I didn't like headphones because I had my headphones on once and somebody snuck up behind me, and it was a bad deal. So I kind of got where I really didn't want to wear them. Yeah, like here's one. This one's a little bit higher, but it has let me get where I want to be. This very first one in line, it has the headphones and the pin pointer, the digging tool. Let me get over there. And yeah, that's a little more expensive, but it pretty much would have everything. Hi, Kevin. Okay, we looked at that one already. Now, there's other brands. I just started out with this one because this happens to be the brand that I own and I'm happy with. And like I said, it has the headphones with it. It also has yeah, see, if you go on the site, it'll show you that it's best for like hunting coins and relics and beach, and that it's good for beginners. Other ones may be a little more complicated and a lot more expensive and maybe more detectors than you need. The other thing I like about the Nocta is that I can fold it down real small if I need to take it on a plane. But they have several different kits, and the ones I'm showing you right now are from all different places, but I'm going to go right over to Calico and see, because I haven't looked for a while, because I have pretty much everything I need. Yeah, metal detector bundles. Well, if you're looking in the $150 to $200 range, you're really not going to get a very good quality machine. Probably the best thing you're going to find in that range might be something over under the Bounty Hunter, but it's not going to be waterproof, and it's not going to have the features that this has, and it's probably not going to have very good headphones either. I can tell you because I own two Bounty Hunters, and one of them was in the right around $225 range, and it's an okay machine, but it's not waterproof. It's heavy and a little bulky and doesn't have a lot of the features that you would be giving up by not spending the extra $50. So your best bet is to just follow the link to some of the different companies, like to Calico, to Garrett's. You're not going to get much of anything in the range you're talking about. You're just not. Calico, you can probably find something around $250. Well, that's what I had to do. Actually, I financed one of mine, but yeah, I didn't have that kind of money. I saved up my money. Kevin, probably in the next day or two, in the answers to that. I had to save for scratch for mine. I did not run out and write a check for $325. But if you look, a lot of these companies have their own private they use a firm to see if you can make payments. And I had terrible credit, and they still let me make payments. So I was paying like $25, $30 a month. But yeah, you get what you pay for, is basically what I'm saying. Now, my first one, let me go over here to a different company. Sorry, I've been having a little problem with my eye today. So sometimes my typing is getting a little woo-woo. I woke up with the headache this morning. Let's see what they got at Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunters are, some of them are okay. I mean, I found things with both of my Bounty Hunters, but I really wanted a waterproof one because if you accidentally drop it or you get caught in a bad rainstorm or something, you can ruin your detector if it's not waterproof. And I didn't want to take that chance, so I spent the extra money. In fact, if I can find them, I will show you the ones that I own. I'm not sure they even make them anymore. Okay. I gotta switch to a different page. Da, 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 da. Yeah, see, this is not what mine cost when my brother bought it, but I have one similar to the Discovery 3300, and it's more pricey than the Simplex and does not have all of the bells and whistles that the Simplex has. It's a good detector. I mean, it'll find things, but this is I'm going to show you my very first detector, and I still have it, by the way, is this right here, the Bounty Hunter Gold Digger, which is $99. I paid $40 for mine used, but it does not have any, you get nothing as far as there's no number system, VDI numbers or anything. See, there you go. Now you can go and look at all your thing. It's just like you just pay a monthly payment on it. It depends on the machine that you buy, how big your monthly payment is going to be. And the machine I bought was, because I bought the one with the wireless headphones, it was a little over $300. And that's how I got it. But this is what I had before. I had this $99 thing. And when it says earphones included, the earphones are like the things you buy at the Dollar Tree. They were really bad. So, I would just go to the different pages and look. Don't buy more detector than you need. This is something I recommend to people. Like Archaeology Mikey and we beat heads against the wall, and he ended up buying an Equinox 800, which is like over $1,000, and he used it maybe 3 times. I see so many people that buy way more detector than they need, and then they decide they don't like it, or it's strenuous for them to get out and detect, and they end up with a $900 doorstop. So I do not recommend anybody to buy the cheapest one, nor do I recommend to anybody to buy the most expensive one. What I recommend is you decide where you're going to detect. If you're going to be at the beach a whole lot, there are some detectors that just aren't very good at the beach. If you're going to be in parks and dirt and looking for relics and that kind of stuff, but you're not really going to be doing the beach much, you can probably get by with a less expensive machine that'll do a fine job for you. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling super duper good. Uh, I've had a real rough time here trying to deal with these people in Michigan at the apartments, and trying to deal with the people that are supposed to be helping me uh, fight the discriminatory practice. They're insisting I have to come up there, which is going to cost me almost $3,000, which means I wouldn't have enough money to rent the apartment when it was over. And why does it cost that much? Because there is, number one, they want me to come during the Christmas holidays where the tickets, airplane tickets, are almost $1,000 round trip. It's 3 hours to the closest airport, which means I would have to pay a couple $100 just to get to the airport and a couple $100 to get back. Then I'd have to get a place to stay for 2 nights while they do all their stupid paperwork. And then I have to eat, and so we're looking at $2,500 to $3,000 just for me to go up and sign a piece of paper that I have already signed. And what they're asking me to do is a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And I got a case number assigned by the Michigan Department of Civil Rights, but now I can't get a hold of anybody there. Ooh, somebody got chickenpox. And I can't leave a message. It says that all the mail, every extension I've called, it tells me the mailboxes are full. So then I had a family member who had promised that they would drive me, and now that it's time to go, has said, nope, I can't do it. Sorry. And, this is kind of a life and death thing. I have put off my treatment of this disease for over 2 years, trying to get a place to live so I can do the treatment. And now I can't get up there to sign the paperwork. And I shouldn't have to. There's a thing called reasonable accommodations under the Americans with Disability Act that prohibit people from making you do stuff like this. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. I can drive, but I can only drive about 100 to 150 miles a day, and it is 600 miles to where I need to go. So it would take me 2 weeks of a rental car. So now we're back to, plus hotel and yada yada. So plus we're back to $3,000 again. So I had hoped I would hear something back today, and I did not. So some of you who live in Michigan may end up seeing this little saga on the news, because one thing about working with the band is that I know people in the media up there. So tomorrow I'm going to be calling one of the TV stations, and because if I don't get up there, I'm gonna probably within a year be paralyzed and blind, or worse, I could have a stroke and croak. All because some lady thinks I need to come sign a paper. They don't really want me to fly because the change of pressure in the cabin of the plane could cause this thing in my head to go kaboom. Well, so far I haven't really found much in these. These are the coins we had in the metal detecting jar the other night. And the winner did claim his prize, by the way. He was very pleased. So I don't know. After all of this, I may end up losing that apartment and not being able to get to Michigan. I mean, if I have to, I'll spend the money and drive. But like I said, it will take me 12 to 14 days to do that. Because I can only drive short distances. So I sent them a letter today reiterating all the things that have been said back and forth in the past 2 years on this, and asking them what appointment dates they have, and explaining once again why I cannot just hop on a plane and fly up there and piss away $3,000 to sign a piece of paper when I have rented through this same program 2 other times and I was never required to do such a thing. And when I try to call them, like I said, I just get a thing sending me to voicemail, and then the voicemail says it's full and you can't leave a message. So if anybody has any other brilliant ideas. And then my other catch-22 was this lovely lady at Congressman Kildee's office, and now I am going to mention his name because this made me angry. Because when I lived up there, I was an avid supporter of his and worked on his campaign. And so when I first talked to his office, they said they were going to get back with me and assign it a case number and all this. And then I get this lady yesterday when I called to see why I hadn't gotten a case number. And she says, well, we can't do anything for you because you live in Virginia and you need to call the ADA office in Virginia. Well, the problem with that, I call them and they tell me, well, you need to call the ADA office in Michigan because your violation of the ADA law is happening in Michigan. It's not happening in Virginia. So we have no violation here to file anything against. You have to file it in Michigan. and Michigan's telling me I have to file it in Virginia. So they've got me in a big fat catch-22, and I don't quite know how to get out of it, but I know if I don't get up there in the next 2 weeks, which is right in the middle of the Christmas, then I'm going to lose my apartment. I'm pretty bummed out. That's probably why I don't feel good, but I think I'm entitled to be bummed out. So, well, I just went through a whole bunch of these, and as I suspected, they're all just clad. I'm not seeing any good dates or anything. I still have a few more, but I'm really not up for doing it. I didn't want to abandon everybody and not do a show, but my eye is really bothering me. So I'm kind of going to have to give up. Well, I'm going to tell you something about this statement right here, James. Don't need waterproof. It's never going in the water. Well, let me tell you a little story. Because I thought the exact same thing. Well, I'm out in the middle of a field. There's no lake. There's no stream. There's no nothing. It started pouring rain, and I mean a torrential deluge of rain. And I'm trying to keep the electronics box part of the computer dry. And I've gotten to the point where I had put my shirt over it to keep it dry. Well, by the time I got back to my car, my detector was soaked. And it would not function. I didn't plan on it going in the water. I didn't take it in a stream. I didn't take it in a lake. I was out in the middle of the field. And it got wet. Fortunately, after about 2 weeks, it dried out enough that it started to work again. But that was when I decided I wanted a machine that was waterproof, because if it had not dried out and started working again, that was my Garrett, I would have been out like $300 or more. Actually, I think it was $369 that I paid for that one. And that was when I decided I want one that's fully waterproof. And I paid less for it than I did for the Garrett. But don't ever think you can be walking along and slip and fall in a mud puddle, and then it's in the water. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. I have not actually ever taken mine in a river or a lake or anything like that either. But it got wet in a torrential rainstorm, and then it didn't work for a while. I was lucky it ever started working again. So just a little heads up there, folks. Doo-doo can occur when you least expect it. I never thought mine was going to get wet. I'm trying to run across this field, and I got this thing shoved up my shirt trying to keep it dry, because, I mean, it was raining. And as soon as I got in the car, I dried it off, and I thought I was going to be okay. But a couple hours at home, I looked and I could see the water condensing underneath the cover of the electronics box. And there it was, wet. So I'd rather pay the extra 25, 30 bucks and not have to worry about that. Anyway, I am trying to get everybody's stuff mailed out to them. I got a couple of packages done today, but I've been pretty sick with this thing with my eye, and my aide came and went and got my eye drops for me at the pharmacy. So I'm doing a little better now, but I was on the computer quite a bit doing research, trying to get my situation with the apartment straight, and that really bothered my eyes. So I think I'm gonna make it a short one tonight. Like I said, I didn't get to go do any detecting because the temperature almost all day was 32 and it was windy. So anyway, I think I'm gonna take an early night this weekend. I have someone that's gonna help me try and finish getting things out of the storage, except the things that are going to be moved with me. That way I can take the stuff that's in my apartment that's packed and put it in there, and we'll be able to get a better idea of what size truck I have to get. But thank you, Kevin, for posting that Patreon link. I apologize for the lack of decent content tonight, but my eye is bothering me really bad, and this is like the worst headache I have had from it in a long time. So I think I need to get off the computer and turn the lights off and put my drops in and just back away from things for a few hours. So I will come back on tomorrow maybe and let everybody know what's going on. The other thing I want to do in the morning is I got to finish Mikey's Christmas ornament. And so maybe I'll get that finished and I'll come back on and show you what I did. And so on that note, I got to show y'all something if I can do it without getting on the camera. Let me see here if I can capture this thing. Okay. Oops. I'm caught. My wire's caught. I'm trying to get to a fat little kitty man. I don't know if I can get to him or not without getting me in the... I'm in the way. Yeah, I can't get him. I wanted to show you him because he's so funny. He gets... There he is. He's lying in front of the heater. It's one of those heaters that looks like a little radiator thing. We call that his heating box. It's cold and he knows it, so he is sacked out down there. So there he is. There's the channel mascot, the M3 Kitty Man. All right, say hi, M3. Say hi. Said, nope, I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy. But there he is. He doesn't like being on the camera, but he got on there tonight. Took me a while to get the angle right because the wire is kind of wrapped around some things. I did that on purpose so it wouldn't fall off of what I was using for a tripod. I use a lot of things that I just have to make as I go along. But there was our boy. Alrighty, I'm going. Just got to. Thank y'all for coming. I'm sorry I wasn't too exciting. I'll catch up with y'all later. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some rest. I need to close my eyes. You gotta remember, one eye's got the tumor in it, and the other eye I just had surgery on about 3 weeks ago. So yeah. Anyway, good night, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.